Okay, folks, you're about to see some of the greatest revelations. Okay? Get ready to be amazed, and you better watch the whole video or you are going to miss something spectacular. Okay, so real quick, let me just tell you what my two predictions are for the new people who are watching this. That on June 11th, there's going to be a spectacular event in Seattle, and somehow Elvis becomes attached to that spectacular event in Seattle. Okay? And my other prediction is that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th in Ohio. Okay? Those are the two predictions. And Trump survives that head wound and somehow makes a miraculous recovery and comes back either 3 or 4 days later on 8/7 or 8/8. So real quick, let me just get this out of the way. That way they can see why August 4th is so important. So on August 4th is the 216th day of the year, okay? Trump's head wound is on 8/4. Obama's birthday is on 8/4, and Obama was the president before Trump, okay? And 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Trump's birthday is 6/14. 6 times 14 equals 8/4. See it? 84, 8/4. Trump gets his head wound. Elvis Aaron Presley, his full name equals 216. You see? And look, it even has his number, the date he was born. He was born on 1/8 or 8/1, whatever you want to say. And he had a identical twin, which I've mentioned before. And from Elvis's birthday to the day the twin towers came down is 8 months, 4 days, and it's 66 years in between, okay? But the 8/4 again, you see? And I told you the 216th day of the year is August 4th, and Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. And 9/11 was when the twin towers fell, right? And the word twin equals 66. And it was 66 years, 8 months, 4 days from Elvis's exact birth date to the exact day the twin towers fell. Like I said, just keep paying attention. The revelations are going to be unbelievable, okay? The whole video is going to be incredible. Just keep watching. Elvis died on August 16th, 1977 at the age of 42. And the state of Washington, where Seattle is the 42nd state. Elvis was known as the king. Seattle's in King County. I'm not going to go through the whole, thing about why these numbers are important. Just the most important parts I'm going to show in this video. So you're about to see why I'm showing you this particular equation, okay? Because the devil is in the details. So when the identical twins, Elvis and Jesse, were born, Jesse was the twin that supposedly died at birth. They were born on January 8th, 1935. Now, if you went from the first of the year on 1/1 to the date the identical twins were born, if you use the calculator, if you don't count that day, it's 7 days. If you count that day, it's the 8th day. Okay, so 7 days is 1.92%. Okay, what 7 days equals is 1.92%. And what 8 days equals is 2.19% of 1 year. Okay, now, why am I showing you this? Okay, because you notice that it's the same numbers. 1/9, 2 times 2 times 19. Get it? 219, 19, 2. Anyway, so pay attention to this number, 219. So remember, I told you how important the number 8/4 is, right? Because that's the day Trump gets his head wound. Okay, so remember, Elvis died on August 16, 1977 at the age of 42. And 42 years later, it would fall on 2019. There's your 219 or 19/2 that I was just showing you in the percentages of Elvis and Jesse's date of birth. Okay, so 42 years after Elvis died on August 16th, because Elvis died at 42, 42 years later, 42 and 42 make 84, and it falls on the 219 number, which has to do with their birth date, I told you. And from Elvis's birthday, right, from the exact date to 219 on his birthday would be 84 years, okay? So 219 is obviously something super important for it to fall on the 84 and the 42. That's why he had to die at the age of 42, and 42 years later, it comes to 2019. which goes back to what I'm showing you here, the 219, 19, 2 in the percentage when the identical twins were born. And guess what was the date that I originally, for the first time, I revealed to the world that Elvis was the Antichrist? It was on September 3rd, 2019. And Elvis had been dead for 42 years when I made this prediction. Elvis had been dead for 42 years, and Elvis was 84 years old in 2019. So I guess that's just another great coincidence that I happened to reveal Elvis is being the Antichrist in 2019. Okay? Because I've been doing videos about Trump and Obama since 2018. Okay? On this particular channel that I started, which I will explain in another video when the exact date I started that channel that got taken down. But when I first started talking about Elvis was on September 3rd, 2019. Like I said, keep paying attention. You're going to see how incredible this puzzle is, okay? The identical twins, Elvis and Jesse, born on January 8th, 1935. Jesse died at birth. Okay, that's why the Twin Towers had to fall on 9/11. Everything is connected. I told you from the first of the year to the day they were born, it's either 7 days if you don't count that day or 8 days if you count the day. And these are the percentages: 1.92, 2.19, 19.2, 2.19, okay? And it just so happens from 9/11, okay, from 9/11 to the date I'm telling you that Seattle, there's going to be a spectacular event, is 21 years and 9 months exactly on the dot. 219. Get it? 219, what I've just explained to you. Or how about this equation? From 9/11 to the date Trump gets his head wound. 2.219 again. There's your 219 again. All right? And look, it's 1.23 is left, right? If you use the 219, then there's 1.23. Look, 1, 2, 3. That's when the year was 2001 and 23. You see? And I told you that Trump, after he gets his head wound on 8/4 in 23, he comes back on either 8/7 or 8/8. Look at the equation from 9/11 to 8/8. It's 2192. Because I told you that when Elvis and Jesse were born, it was either 1.92 or 2.19. Exact same numbers. 219, 192. You see? And then you have the 33. Because I told you that the number 33 is the number of ascension. Okay? They're mocking God because Jesus was crucified at the age of 33 and he rose from the dead at 33. And look, you have the 8, because Elvis and Jesse were born on the 8th, and 2 of them, and 2 crowns. The O's are always crowns, you see? And speaking of the crowns, pay attention. So it was 9/11/01, right? That 9/11 happened, and the Seattle event is the upside down 9/11 on 6/11, okay, which is going to happen this year on 2023. Okay, so the 156th prime number is 9/11. And remember, I told you the O is a crown, 156. The O is 15 and 6 in Gematria. This is the number, the 15th letter of the alphabet, and then 1 plus 5 is 6. This is the reduced number, 156, you see? So the 156th prime number is 9/11, so it connects to the crown number. And then look, the year was 01, and then the Seattle event is in 23. Look, 1, 2, 3. So double, it's the O forward, the O backward. 156, 156, 9/11. Do you understand? And how many years are in between? 21 years, 9 months. 21 years, you see? You see what I'm saying? And then 12 and 3 is 15. 1, 2, 3 is 12. Yeah, and there's the O. So 9 and 6 is 15. You get a crown. 15 crown. And then 1, 2 is 12 and 3. 12, 3, crown. There's your crown with the 12 and 3. 15, crown. 12, 3, crown. I'm just showing you, folks. This is incredible, coincidences. And what do these numbers look like in the percentages? 192, 219, right? The 19.2, and the 219. What does this look like? It looks just like my prediction dates. June 11th and August 4th is 16-2, 216. It's just the upside down 6 and 9. The sixes would be nines. That's exact same number. 192, 219. You see what I'm saying? Pay attention. It's going to get better, the video. This is just the beginning of it. So Trump's head wound is on August 4th, the 216th day of the year. The Seattle event, which is going to connect to Elvis, okay, is on June 11th, the 162nd day of the year. It's 16-2, 216s. 16-2, 216. And the identical twins, Elvis and Jesse, were both born on 1-8. So if you do 1-8 for each one of them, because they're two different people, right? 1-8, 1-8, it's 216. You say the date backwards like they do in the UK, it's 8-1-8-1, it's 16-2. That's August 4th, 216th day of the year. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. 216, 16-2. I guess that's just another coincidence. And I told you that they were both born on January 8th, right? And if you put a crown on January 8th, because I told you the crown is an incredible, the letter O, it's a crown. Look what it equals. 162 forward, 216 backwards in Gematria. Think about what I'm showing you. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. Do you see how incredible this is, okay? Keep watching. I'm just laying the groundwork for what I'm about to show. So identical twins in Gematria, if you just put those two words, identical twins, equals 162 forward, 216 backwards. June 11th, August 4th. Okay? This alone should tell you what's coming. Like I said, everything is about the 16, right? Elvis was born in the first month. Trump's born in the 6th month. Okay? The 1-6. The Gemini number is the Gemini sign is in the month of June. That's when Trump is born. Elvis is born in January. January is named after Janus, the two-faced god. Okay, everything has to do with twins. Okay, Elvis and Trump are the Janus twins. I've explained that over the years. And when was the insurrection? 1-6. Pay attention. Look over here. If you went from the first of the year to February 28th, you'll see why I'm showing that. It's 16.16%. Okay, it's the equivalent. What 59 days would equal is 16.16% of 1 year. Okay, and I just told you about the 16-16. The 216, 16-2s is June 11th and August 4th, right? The 162nd day of the year and the 216th day of the year. Elvis died on 8/16, which is the 228th day of the year. Get it? From 1-1 to 228 is 16.16. The 216s. 228th day of the year is 8/16. The day he died. Okay? There's your 16. He died on the 16th day. 16/16. Okay? And Elvis died in Tennessee, the 16th state. Okay? I could show you how it connects to where he was born to this puzzle, but I'm not going to show that now. So Elvis died in Tennessee, right? 16th state. Abe Lincoln, the first president assassinated, was the 16th president. And the reason I'm showing you this, the PP, because the P is the 16th letter, you get two P's, is 16, right? It just so happens that the P looks like the letter B. If you turned it upside down, right, it would look like a B or a D. B is the second letter. It would look like 216 or 16-2. Get it? If the letter is a B. But if it's a D, it's 416, and Trump was born on 6/14. You get what I'm saying? Or it could look like a 6. So, it depends on what you want to see. All right, but the point I'm trying to make is it's all about the 16 twice, PP. You'll understand. Whenever you hear me talk about the PP, you understand what it's about. The PP is all about the Pied Piper, okay? Because Lucifer was a musician or possibly a singer in heaven. And that's how he was able to bamboozle the angels to follow him, okay? And Elvis is the image of Lucifer, and that's why he was adorned in jewels, just like Lucifer was in heaven before he was tossed out. Pied Piper is the PP. PP is 1616. And if you were to spell the word P, if it was a spelled word, It would be PEE. PEE equals 2617 forward, 5510 backwards in Gematria. It equals the exact same as the word God. So if you have a PP, it would be the Antichrist. You get it? Because it would be two P's. Two peas in a pod. Get it? It's the Elvis and Trump twin devils. Okay? Because it would be God, which would make the Antichrist. I've explained that before in videos. Okay? So that's why if you have PP, that's what makes it so important. Okay? Because it equals the exact same as the word God, PEE. Anyway, back to the PP, the 1616. Pay attention. So if you go from Elvis's, when the identical twins were born, Elvis and Jesse, they were born on January 8th, 1935. You go forward 1,616 days, it lands on June 11th in 1939. So from Elvis and the identical twins' birthday, the day they were born, you go forward 1,616 days. Get it? The 216, 16 twos, okay? The PP. It lands on 6/11, the day I'm telling you Seattle's going to be struck. Okay, now imagine this. You add up the years, okay? The 1919 is 38, okay? And 3539 is 74. That is the number of Lucifer, 7438. You see that? 74 is what Lucifer equaled, 38 in the second part. Okay, and Jesus equals 7411. See, Jesus created Lucifer, and that's why he gave Lucifer a perfect number. But when he got tossed out of heaven, Lucifer became Satan. He lost his 19 crown. Okay, you got to go watch my video called Lucifer Loses His S equals 19 crown. Anyway, it's the PP, the 16-2-216, which goes back to my predictions of August 4th and June 11th, the 216th day of the year, 216th, and the 16-2, the 162nd day of the year. Get it? All right? Everything connects. And remember, I told you the devil in the details, the percentage of how many, of 7 days or 8 days of a year is 1.92 or 2.19. 219, 19.2 is the same. If you turn the 9 upside down, it'd be 216, 16.2. Get it? Okay? It's all about the 216, 16.2s. And it just so happens, if you put the words 16, 16, because I just told you the PP, right? P is the 16th letter. It's the 16, 16, 216, 16, right? If you put that into the Gematria calculator, it equals 192 and 66. Pay attention. From the first of the year to January 8th, it's 1.92, right? Or 2.19. So it's 19.2. There's your 19.2. And then 66. Twin equals 66. Do you see it? And by the way, 6 months and 11 days can either be 192 days or 193 days. You see what I'm saying? It even connects to the 611 because 6 months, 11 days is 192 days. So remember, I was explaining to you the devil in the details about the 19.2 or the 219 and why the 219 is so important. I talked about it earlier. So before I show you the most mind-blowing information, let me rehash what I showed you earlier just to show you how incredible it is. That way, when I show you the most incredible information, you'll fully grasp it. So remember, I told you it's all about the 219, right? Or 19.2. Look, you have 19.2 right there, or 219, and they were both born in 35. 19.2, 219. Okay? When the twins were born on the percentages. And they were both born in 35. Get it? All right? And they're both born on 1/8. It's right there in the date. And that's why I go to 2019, because of 219, because that's the year Elvis turned 84. And that's the year, it was 42 years from his death when he died at 42. 42 plus 42 equals 84. Do you get it? That's why he had to die on this year. On the year he had to die in 77 when he turned 42. Anyway, so it's all about the 219 or 19.2, as I was saying, okay? Because look, it's the same thing here, right? 19.2, 219, and then he died in 77. And remember, this is the This is the day that I revealed that Elvis is the Antichrist. Back on September 3rd, 2019, when Elvis had been dead for 42 years and Elvis died at 42. Remember, 42 plus 42 is 84. Elvis was 84 years old in that very year. Okay? The day I revealed that Elvis was the Antichrist in 2019. 219, get it? So keep the 19.2, 219 in your head still, okay? But pay attention. So Trump gets his head wound on 8/4, I told you, right? And then he heals from his deadly wound either on 8/7 or 8/8, most likely 8/8. That's why I put 3 or 4 days later. Okay, so that's 3 or 4 days later after 8/4. And I told you Trump equals 88. Elvis's age this year is going to be 88 in a few days when he turns 88 on January 8th. So Trump gets his head wound on 8/4, and 4 days later he comes back on 8/8. So pay attention. So from the day Elvis was born, the identical twins, to that 2019 year when he turned 84, from that year, 4 years later to 6/11, it's 88 years. Get it? 8/4. Trump gets his head wound. 4 days later, he returns. 88. I told you Elvis turns 88 in 23, right? This year, I mean. So I keep forgetting it's 2023 already. Yeah, this year he turns 88. So there's your 8/4, and then 4 days later, what I just showed you with Trump's head wound and him coming back 4 days later. So real quick, let's get back to the 1616 for a moment. That way I can tell you what I have to show you this before I show you the next equation. So remember I showed you that from Elvis's birthday, the day the identical twins were born, if you went forward 1,616 days, which is the 2/16, 16/2 for the June 11th, August 4th dates, right? 216th day of the year and 162nd day of the year, right? Anyway, what I'm saying is it's all about the PP, the 1616. You go forward 1,616 days, it lands on June 11th from Elvis's birthday, the 1616. And I told you it connected to Lucifer, the 7438 with the years. But what's important here is the 1616 and the date of June 11th, 1939, because that's, that was where it stopped, the 1616, okay? And isn't it just an incredible coincidence that from that day, the PP day, the day was 1616 from Elvis's birthday, 1,616 days forward to June 11, 1939. Then you go forward to the exact day Trump is born. Check this out. 7 years, 4 days. There's your 74 for the Lucifer, and Jesus equals 74 too. But I told you that Lucifer equals 7438, Jesus equals 7411. Okay, now listen. And Jesus created Lucifer. Anyway, the point is it's 74, but this is what's important. 84 months and 4 days. There's your 8/4 again and 4. Do you see it? Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4, and 4 days later, he comes back. It's there again, connecting to that date, connecting to the 1616, the PP, and I told you all the connections with the PP. And if you were to pay attention, August 4th is the 216th day of the year, right? If you were to write the number 216 into the Gematria calculator, look what it would equal. 228 and then 84. Okay, pay attention. Elvis died on the 228th day of the year, and there's your 8/4. Or you could see it as 8/8/4. Because Elvis turns 88, Trump equals 88, and then I told you 8/4, and then 8/8, he comes back. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is what's the chance that it equals the date Elvis died, the 228th day of the year, August 16th, and then we have the 8/4 connection too. So I told you Trump gets his head wound on the 216th day of the year. And do you think it's just a coincidence that the first Bible verse that I ever knew or memorized was John 8:4:4? 8/4, and then 4 days later, he comes back. I mean, you can't make this up, man. I told this years ago, and the only reason I knew this is because of who this Bible verse was directed to. Okay? If you know what I'm saying, for the people who don't know, you can ask in the comments section, but this was the first Bible verse that I knew. John 8:44. 8/4, and then 4 days later, Trump comes back. Oh, and by the way, the second Bible verse that I ever knew was 6:14, which is Trump's birthday, because that had to do with the flood and Noah. In the book of Genesis 6:14, it said, that, was telling Noah, God was telling Noah to build the ark. Anyway, like I said, Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, and then he heals from his deadly wound on either 8/7 or 8/8, most likely 8/8. And King Charles, he's 74 years old right now, and he's going to be king this year. He's in the coronation, okay, before his next birthday. So he's 74 years old right now. And from Trump's birthday, the day he's born, to the exact day that King Charles was born is 8/8/4. There's your 8/4 and the 8 and the 88. I told you Elvis turns 88. Trump gets his head wound on 8/4. And Trump gets his head wound 8/4 and then comes back on 8/8. You understand? These are impossible coincidences. And there's going to be a king crowned. Seattle's in King County. Elvis is known as the king. And Trump is the representation of Elvis in the flesh. Elvis is the unseen Antichrist, the one that's going to be worshipped. And I told you that Elvis died at the age of 42, and Washington, where Seattle is the 42nd state, right? And it just so happens, which I've been talking about for I don't know how long now, that SW initials. S is the 19th letter of the alphabet for Seattle. Washington is the W, the 23rd, right? 19 and 23 equals 42, right? And backwards, okay, if you went from the letter Z, if you went, how many letters is it from the end? It's 8 letters from the end, the letter S. And the W is 4 letters to the end. Like I said, just another pure coincidence that it's 8/4 connected to the 1923. Which goes back to everything I showed you over here. That Elvis turned 84 in 2019, right? And he was 42 years from his death. He died at the age of 42 in 2019. That's why this 2019 is so important, the 219, which I explained has to do with the devil in the details, the 219 or the 19:2 for when the identical twins were born. And that, like I said, that when in 2019, when Elvis turned 84 years old, from 2019, the year 19 to the year 23, is 4 years from there. 84/4, right? The 1923. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's how it ends, 1923. And that's why this is so important, what I just showed you. 1923 for the Seattle Washington's initials, and backwards it's 8/4. Okay, the letters. And like I said, Elvis turns 88 this year. And 19 was when he turned 84, 1923. 1923. And I told you that from the first of the year to June 11th is 162nd, because June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, but on leap year it's the 163rd, okay? And 6 months, 11 days on a calendar, which would be, of course, the date 7/11, but the point is 6 months, 11 days into the year is 192 days or 193 days on a leap year. If you start from the first of the year and go forward 6 months, 11 days, it's 192 days. So it's 19/2, 19/3. Get it? 1923. It's the same numbers here as this, except it's upside down, the sixes, like I've been showing you, It's telling you right here, the 16/16/23, the year 23. Get it? And it's the upside down 19/19/23. It's just telling you, it's right there in the date, PP, the year 23. Which goes back to what I was showing you here, 192, 193, which is 6 months, 11 days, what I was showing you, 1923, okay? And do you think it's just a coincidence that in the month of December that we just got out of this past year, a few days ago, they came out with a new TV series called 1923. Do you not understand that the Matrix is manifesting before your eyes? I'm trying to make you understand this. Wake the hell up, folks. So I'm going to end the video with a bang. Get ready. So when, I told you when they were born, the identical twins, 7 days or 8 days on the calendar from the first of the year to their birth date is 1.92 or 219, 19/2, 219. And that's why from the day they were born to the year 2019, which is the 219, Elvis turned 84 years, which has to do with Trump getting his head wound on 84. And from Elvis's death, he died at the age of 42. He had to die this year to have the 42 because it's 42 years from that day to 2019. And he died at 42 also. 42 plus 42 is 84. So it has to do with the 2019. Anyway, this is more important. It's the 84 when he turned 84 on this day in 2019. And from the day Elvis turned 84 on 2019 to June 11, 2023 is the 1616. It's the PP number. Just like from his birthday, when you went forward 1616 days, it landed on June 11th, 1939. But what I'm saying is now it's because of the 2019 when he turned 84. And then from there, 4 years later, 1616. Do you not see what I'm showing you, folks? Wake up, folks. This is from the Holy Spirit. I'm trying to help you see it. Okay, folks, I'm running out of recording space, so I got to go really fast. So pay attention. The first time I revealed that Elvis was the Antichrist was in 2019, right? And Elvis was 42 years old, 42 years dead, and he was 84 years old in that year, okay, when I revealed it on September 3rd. But when I started the channel that I started revealing all this stuff, when I started the channel was on March 7th, 2018, sorry. It was 2018 on March 7th, okay? And you know, Elvis and his twin were born on 1/8. The 37 has to do with the EL because it looks like the letters EL. 37 EL means God. The March 7th is the 66th day of the year. And on leap year 67, twin equals 66, Elvis equals 67, Jesse equals 67 in Gematria. That's when I started the channel on 37, okay, where I started getting these revelations. So from the day I started the channel on March 7th, 2018, when I got all these revelations, to the day that I'm telling you Seattle has that spectacular event is 1923 days. Folks, wake up, man. Okay? There's your 1923 for the Seattle Washington's initials, SW. And of course, for the 2019, when Elvis turned 84 and he was 42 years from his death and he died at 42, the 2019. And then from 2019, when he turned 84 to when Seattle gets whatever happens in Seattle, that spectacular event day is 1616, which is the PP reference, okay? The 1923 here, 1923, the year. And folks, this is the last thing I'm going to show you. It's hidden in plain sight right before your eyes. Elvis turns 88 this year. On 6/11 is the Seattle event. It's right in the day he was born and the day he died. 88-611. You understand? There it is, right in front of your eyes. Hidden in plain sight. Elvis turns 88 this year, and on 6/11, there you have the spectacular event. All right, folks. Anyway, these are my two predictions. Don't forget it. Look at it closely. End of video.